Hello, hello. How's it going?
I'm good. And do you know what? I realized something earlier. I saw you posted a story on your Instagram where you're talking about a sponsorship deal or something that you've got, an affiliate deal. And first of all, I want to hear about that because that's really cool. I've been seeing this app advertised everywhere, and I've been
Yeah.
really tempted to download it. It looks really cool. And then I saw you posting about it, and I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. The reason I brought that up immediately though is because in your story you start by saying hello, hello. And I was like, oh, that sounds familiar. I know this person.
Yeah, actually, I realized that I'm like starting basically so many of my recordings. That's my personal podcast or my podcast with you or like whatever with hello, hello, which is
It's the familiarity. It's your catchphrase.
apparently it's the catchphrase. Yeah, I'm really excited about this deal for everyone listening. And you know what? I'll add the link into the description and the show notes. But I'm now partnering with Waking Up, the meditation app. This meditation app, I know there are so many out there and there are a handful out there of different meditation apps, but this one was suggested to me when I first moved to LA and I got to try it out and I really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the meditations. It was started by Sam Harris and it's something I was doing really consistently. And when I was in LA, I was meditating really, really consistently with this app. I was working through their intro meditation course, which I really enjoyed. And I'm now partnering with them as an affiliate. I'm offering through my link a free 14-day trial of the app to see if you also like it. And if anyone's interested, we'll add the link into the show notes, into the description. But I'm really excited about it. It's one of those things with the podcast where it's, oh, with the minimal amount of pitching and outreach I've been doing, I already have all of these bites and all of these things in the pipeline now, but that's with minimal work on it. So I'm really excited to be able to give all of my time and attention and focus to it because I'm like, oh, with minimal outreach, I'm getting these deals and these opportunities. So I can't imagine what it's going to look like when I have all of my time and energy focused on this one thing.
Absolutely. I think it's one of the really cool things about setting up social media and starting to actually get traction on it. And I've been following your journey, of course, from forever on social media, and I've seen the way that it's picked up, especially your follow count and everything like that. And now to see a deal like this, that you're an app that you're working with. I've been on my journey for about 6 months now, almost 6 months exactly. And it's been good fun. And I quite quickly saw apps approaching me to say, can you promote us? I think in what I do in the field that I'm covering online, I'm quite limited in what I can promote. There's not so many wellness apps or anything like that. You see a lot of creators in your field, for example, doing exactly what you've just promoted. Everything I'm being asked to promote is anti-gambling, anti-weed. I've just been asked to promote, and I think the market for those, in my experience, they're quite hard to promote because I've said this before, and it's why I've pivoted away from what my original business plan was with this. Addicts don't have money. They spend all of their money on their addiction, right? It's the same with an app. If there's a paid app, as a gambling addict, I would never have paid for an app. The app that I use to count everything is to count my days is free. And they have paid versions, but I would never pay for it because that money has to go on my gambling 4 years ago. But so yeah, it's really cool to see what you're doing and the traction you're gaining.
I'm really excited about it. I've definitely gotten it's definitely interesting. I feel like with the social media posting since my interns quit, I've fallen off with a consistency 100% just because I frankly don't have time and bandwidth. I'm doing my best. And also, there's so much content from Paris. I'm feeling pretty overwhelmed with the amount that there is to post and structuring it in a way that makes sense and that looks really good is something that I'm feeling pretty overwhelmed by, honestly. So it's something that's on my to-do list is to sit down and be like, okay, what's happening? And then Danny and I, because we're starting to work together, Danny and I are working, we're just having technical issues, honestly, getting through everything and trying to get it all sorted. It's not a lot of traction, but I found myself yesterday because I have to have Instagram now because my intern quit and I need to repost stuff. I can get stuck into doom scrolling a little bit, which I freaking hate. I
Mm.
hate it so much. And I found myself comparing myself to, and I think comparison can be a really great tool to look at what you want. And I'm like looking at some people I knew through Miami and knew through this and that, and whose follower accounts exploded, whose businesses exploded. But then I have to remind myself they've been doing this a lot longer. they're able to, they don't have 9 to 5 jobs where they're splitting their time and energy. They have more time and energy to focus on the thing and to work on the thing. And I physically don't.
Yeah.
And I think there's been frustration on my part with the growth rate, but then it's also really testing my patience and also giving me the ability and the time and to really hone in on my message and hone in on the quality before things explode and before there's scrutiny of a ton
Mm.
of eyeballs on it. So it's been frustrating in some ways, but in other ways I know there's reasons for it. I'm doing my best.
That's all you can do. And I think the good thing about social media and online presence is that you can fall off and get back on to an extent, as long as the consistency is there when you do get back on. But also, you cannot compare yourself to other people, right? And I
Yeah.
found myself from quite early on doing that, comparing myself in my field. What I'm doing at the moment, there is one other guy in the UK at least who's doing pretty much exactly the same content style as what I'm doing, right? And
Yeah.
I actually took inspiration from him. I saw what he's doing is going very well for him. He's getting a lot of viral videos. So I was like, okay, I'll try the same. The storytelling technique, basically. People want to hear your story. They want to live through you. And the first video I did like that, 100,000 plus views. It went crazy. And so that was proof of concept for me. But I found myself constantly, until a couple of weeks ago, comparing myself to this guy. I
Mm,
have just over 6,000 followers on TikTok. He has about 32,000. And I was constantly comparing myself. We would post a video. There was a couple of days we posted videos at the same kind of time. And I'd be
yeah.
watching his views compared to mine. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm beating him. And then suddenly his would shoot up and go past mine because he has more followers.
Yeah.
Um, what I did a couple of weeks ago that stopped me from comparing myself to him, I was like, you know what? He's got 32,000 followers, but how long has he been posting? And I went on his page and I scrolled 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 and I scrolled. And I was like, this guy's been doing this for 5 years. He started his account during COVID pretty much.
Yeah.
It initially started as a fitness page, and just piggybacking on what you just said about day jobs and stuff. His day job, he was a personal trainer and he was using this page to promote his personal training and to promote his
Yeah.
fitness programs and stuff. So that was his job in a way. This was his marketing. And now, about 2 years ago, he started posting about gambling stuff. So he's had way longer than me to build up to 32,000 followers. There is no way I should ever have spent the last 6 months comparing myself to him until very recently. And you
Yeah.
never know what people's story is, how much time they have to commit. You are on your own journey and you have to focus on that and only that. Comparison is what's the phrase? Comparison is the thief.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
That's right. And it's so true. It's so true.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. It's just something I'm like sitting on, and I do find myself slipping into that every once in a while, especially when I'm on the platform. It's much easier to not do that when I don't have access to the platform and I'm not scrolling because I don't care what's happening. But when I'm on it and I'm just like, oh man, I've been posting really consistently. I've had my podcast now for 3 years. So I've been posting consistently on that account. I'm not thrilled with the quality that's going on that account. That makes sense. But I think even my personal social media, I'm like, last year I was ridiculously consistent and had that series where I did like 300-part series of my traveling. And I was expecting it to explode and it didn't. And I think I can feel really discouraged there, and I'm like, "What is this that's not happening? What is it that's not working?" And hopefully with Danny starting and new fresh eyes and like new fresh strategy, things will pick up, and just not letting myself go into it with that kind of discouragement, but it's challenging for sure.
Yeah, no, I understand. You've been doing it for much longer than I have, but it is a journey, and I think the most important thing, just with anything in life, is that we learn from the journey. So if you're posting content that is not doing so well, you pivot. You learn, okay, which content has performed well, I'll do more of that. And that's where my journey started. You don't want to pivot too much. I think you need to give things a chance to actually grow,
Yeah.
a chance to breathe. I started posting my content in January and I tried to put on this persona that was just not me. I was trying to put on this kind of like YouTuber influencer persona, and I was talking about addiction as a broad sense, and the videos weren't performing. They were getting a few hundred views max.
Yeah.
And then as I say, I started doing some research. I looked at what was working for other people within my niche, and I gave it a go, and I've never looked back. And I also am not particularly happy with where I am with my social media. Believe it or not, after 6 months, I've done really well.
Yeah.
But I've been doing really one style of content, and I have tried pivoting. It hasn't done well when I pivoted. I want to try more. I want to start going out and interviewing people on the streets. One of my big goals actually for the next few weeks, really this summer, I want to go and stand outside a casino or a bookmaker and interview people that are walking out.
Yeah.
I think these different styles of content that I want to try, the interview on the street style of content does really well
Yeah.
online, right?
Let's do it.
But
I mean,
it's
I'm going to be there, so let's go together.
absolutely, that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool. But
Yeah.
it's about learning from other people, learning from your well, not mistakes, but learning from what's working, what's not working, and just learning from the journey ultimately.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely think it's something to something to sit on and something to reflect on and something that I'm really excited about moving forward with a new teammate and new perspective and a fresh strategy after joining a mastermind. It's just I think it's just right now so challenging with the fact that I'm just physically not enough hours in the day. Just don't have the time. But anyway, before we get too much into everything, we didn't even spin a wheel yet. So, okay, spirituality. How do you find balance between your spiritual beliefs and your everyday responsibilities? What do you think?
I'm just trying to think how to interpret that question because spiritual beliefs, I mean,
I feel like they really integrate.
they
If
kind
you're like feeling spiritual and you're really connected to it, it should really integrate with your daily life
yeah,
and enhance it.
exactly. But I think religion as a whole, if you think about any religion,
Yeah.
the teachings in the Bible, in the Quran, in the Torah, they are all about daily life, right? And so those teachings, if you are religious, they integrate very well. I'm personally not religious, and I have my own spiritual beliefs based on energies, based on the universe. We've been over this so many times on the podcast. But I think those beliefs stem from what benefits me in my day-to-day life, right? So I try to start my day every single day with meditation, right? And we spoke about this in the last episode about thank you and I love you and thanking the universe and loving the universe and putting that energy out there, right?
Yeah.
That benefits me because it makes me feel good. I put that energy out there to whatever it is, and then I walk around the street. I try and, because I've started my day with that headspace, I then
Yeah.
walk around in every single interaction at work, at the supermarket, literally everywhere. I go about my day now with that gratitude, with that love for everyone and everything around me, and so it integrates perfectly. Yeah, the question I feel like is quite a simple answer, really, actually, in many
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah. And I think so, especially if you're feeling very connected, it should bleed into every other area of life in the same way that if one area is going well, it should bleed into every other area of life. So it's not necessarily how do you balance, but I think how do you integrate? Like, how do you stay connected? And it's something that actually, now that we're sitting and thinking about it, and this is something we brought up in the last episode or two, is that if things are, and before, for the listeners, before we started pressing record, I was telling Josh about this mental health challenge I'm going through right now. And now that we're sitting here talking about spirituality, I'm sitting and being like, I'm not feeling so great in my life right now. In my life, if I zoom out, like last episode, and if I look at everything, it's great. But in my mental health right now, I'm not feeling great. And I'm like sitting here being like, guess what I'm not doing? I'm not moving or meditating
Yeah.
like consistently. So yikes, let's fix the baseline. And that way I can integrate, because when I think about when things are going really, really well, right? Like when I think about, for example, if I think about like where I was feeling my best, it was definitely my LA chapter. And I was so ridiculously consistent with my meditation and with my movement that I was just on top of the world. I just could not be brought down by anything. Didn't matter if I had a rough day. I got my movement in, my magic bike ride made everything better, and my meditation made everything better. And it's like recently I have fallen off a little bit on those. And I think it's really impacted my mental health. So it's okay, how do I integrate?
Yeah, it's about getting back on track. You're aware of it, and I think that's the beauty of of you as a person. And us, I think we're both very self-aware, so that
Mhm.
when things aren't feeling particularly nice, we are able to jump back on it. I do think spirituality and physical health, as you've just alluded to, are really core components in our day-to-day life. I, for example, I have been meditating fairly consistently, but just like you with LA, my most successful, happy, strong phase of this year was when I was meditating without fail every single day for at least 10 minutes, no rushing it. When I was exercising, I was going for a run or to the gym every single day without fail. I started this year with the goal
Mhm.
of breaking a sweat, exercising in some way, shape, or form every single day this year.
Yeah.
And I missed, I think, one day in January, like one day in February. I was really sticking to it. And,
Yeah. You
yes,
were very consistent.
it wasn't every single day. And then I went to India. I did join the gym there, but I think I went 5 times in total. So, it's about getting back on it. And I'm aware that since I've come back, I've put on crazy weight. I think since before India, I've put on 7 kg. I don't know what that is in pounds, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near where I was before I lost all the weight, but I'm heavy right now. I'm not feeling particularly good about my body or my weight, but I'm aware of it. And I've got it in my habit tracker that I want to have a perfect habit tracker this week. And exercise, I need to exercise at least 5 times this week to make that
Yeah.
happen. It's
Yeah.
Tuesday. I haven't exercised once yet. I have Wednesday to Sunday, so it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not too late. Even if that looks like, again, like last week, do some squats before you sit down at your desk or go for a quick walk around the block before dinner or after dinner or whatever. Whatever that looks like, get it down. But what else is happening? Like how's everything going? How was your bender weekend? What's up? How's it going?
Yeah, weekend was really good. I had a really good time. It was one set of friends on Friday and then another set of friends for the rest of the weekend. Friday was good. Great time. Pitbull, Kesha, Tiny Temper, just amazing. Lil Jon,
Yeah.
incredible. Just such an iconic lineup.
Yeah.
Saturday was really good as well. I did do drugs on Saturday and I had a great time. It was the first
Yeah.
time that I've really done it properly in since December, which is great. That's like a long, long time by my standards,
Yeah.
right? The kind of standards I wanted to set myself last year, but I didn't
I
really stick
remember.
to. I
Mhm.
wasn't crazy last year. I wasn't as crazy as the year before, that's for sure. No, there will never be a year as crazy as that year. But yeah, I it's been a long time, and so it felt really nice on Saturday. And Rave Josh was back, my friend who I've only been to a few raves with. He looked at me and he came up to me after. He was like, "You are the rave lord. You know
Yeah.
how to rave. You are the state inducer of raves."
Yes. 100%.
And
100%. We'll testify for that.
exactly. And my other friend was like, "Josh, you were literally talking to fucking everyone. There wasn't a single person around us who didn't know you." Which is how I go. That's how it happens. The raves for me. And as I was leaving, it was like 1 a.m. and I went out to wait for an Uber, and I was trying to catch an Uber. I was waiting for so long, and this guy comes up behind me. He's like, "Hey, Josh," and I looked at him and I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And it was obviously someone that I'd befriended in the crowd. I had
Yeah.
no idea who he was because I just make so many friends.
Yeah.
So no, it was a great time. And then I was worried, understandably worried about Sunday because it was going to be another big day. In fact, Sunday had a more exciting lineup. Sunday was the day that I've been looking forward to pretty much all year since I booked it.
Yeah.
Um, and I was worried that the come down was going to ruin it. And I woke up. So actually, I went to bed feeling come downy. I was feeling a bit drained, a bit tired, and I was struggling to sleep. And I lay there and I just literally in my head, I just repeated over and over again, "I love you, thank you. I love you, thank you. I love you, thank you."
Mm,
And I fell asleep. I had a great night's sleep. I
okay.
woke up the next morning feeling a bit groggy, but I didn't feel like a come down at all. I didn't feel low.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, I just had the best time. I had the best time. Tiesto was
Yay.
fucking incredible. Like
Amazing.
one of my top 5 sets of all time, easily.
Oh my God, love.
And I had, I think, maybe two or three drinks throughout the day, so not much at all. And these are
Okay.
beers, so not particularly strong drinks. And I just danced my heart out to Tiesto, and I went crazy. And I honestly, I said to Savita afterwards, like, I felt like I had done drugs. And I
Yeah.
questioned my friends, like I genuinely texted my friend afterwards, and I was like, you know, the water you gave me, did it have anything in it? I just have to check because I, even when
Yeah.
I got home afterwards and I was like buzzing, and she said, no, no, not at all, unless I had this other friend's water, which I didn't. So I just felt great, and it proved to me, and there's been times where I've gone, I guess you can call it sober raving, even though I had a couple of drinks, sober to an
Yeah.
extent, no drugs.
Yeah.
And I've gone crazy. I've danced and danced and just really moved to the beat and really focused on the music rather than anything else.
Yeah.
And I've come away from it feeling so incredible. In my opinion, there isn't a feeling like it. It
Yeah.
actually beats how I felt on Sunday, beat how I felt on Saturday on drugs. I
Yeah.
wasn't as social because I was more focused on the music and moving and dancing, but it was an incredible feeling. And
Yeah.
I just felt this insane high. And I was like, this is how you beat a come down. Why didn't I do this at Tomorrowland when I did drugs on the first day and it ruined my whole weekend? Why couldn't I just have danced like this for the whole weekend?
Yeah.
I went to bed and I couldn't sleep. I was so buzzing. I couldn't sleep. My heart was racing. And I woke up yesterday and I felt like fucking shit. And I I got up and I sat at my desk and oh actually I meditated first and I was trying to get back into the positive headspace and I just felt like I wanted to cry the whole day. And I did cry
Mm.
multiple times. Oh, that's the other thing I missed. At Tiesto, I cried multiple times throughout the set. I was feeling so happy,
Yeah.
so incredibly happy that I just tears just started streaming from my face.
Oh my God.
I felt so happy and just overwhelmed with joy, like the kind of shit you experience on drugs. It was so weird. Bear in mind, I was also technically experiencing a come down that day, so
Yeah.
that would explain the crying. A Monday yesterday was not happy crying. It was bad, and I felt very lonely. I felt just really sad, and I kept reminding myself, this is a come down. I did
This is a
drugs
come
on
down.
Saturday, and I had a few conversations with Savita. We were FaceTiming in the evening, and I just just tears just started streaming down my face when we were talking about the most mundane stuff, like not related to
Yeah.
emotion or anything like that at all. But I know this is what you sign up for when you do these things, right? Everyone
Yeah.
who has experience with it knows that this is what happens. And so
Yeah.
today I woke up feeling a little bit gross and sleep particularly well because it's extremely hot here still. Um, but I feel better. I haven't wanted to cry all day, and that's a step in the right direction.
Good.
So yeah, overall, amazing weekend. Amazing weekend. I
Okay.
cannot complain except for yesterday. But then, as I say, this is what you sign up for when you do these things.
Just to come down. Just to come down. Really interesting, but I'm, like, not surprised by any of it. The crying piece for listeners, Josh is not a crier, does not cry, so for him to say that is like, "Oh, yeah, drugs for sure."
Yeah.
Like, I that's just your body releasing something. I'm really glad that you were able to let off some steam and just like, had the best weekend, like, it sounds and honestly, I saw some of your stories, they looked like so much fun. I saw Bella was there, your sister, I saw some bald caps for Pitbull. I was
Yeah.
just
Did you hear we broke the world record for most bald caps in one place or something? One most ball caps in a gathering or something along those lines. It was the new world record.
that's epic. I'm
22,000
obsessed
people
with that.
wearing ball caps.
No.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I know your sister's a huge fan of Pitbull. I know she says she's having a Pitbull impersonator at her wedding. It's a whole ordeal. I'm really glad you had such a good weekend because I know you've been feeling really burned out. And for you, like I know dancing and letting that all out physically is like such a good recharge moment. And you are the rave lord. It is true. Josh in pure raving form is, oh my God, my favorite Josh. It's just so upbeat, such good energy. And it's just really, it's like nice to see like you like recharging in that way. And like last week we said you weren't prioritizing your fun and you were able to prioritize your fun, which feels like it definitely helped out with this balance that you were experiencing.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I made sure to clear everything from the weekends, nothing in my habit tracker, nothing in my diary. Priority was fun and nothing more. And in the mornings, sleep, and then
Yeah.
we go again. So I had a really good time, and yeah, it was really important that I did that. I think it also helped me realize, especially Sunday, when I was just it was a spiritual experience, Tiesto, in the craziest way. I've realized that trance does this to me. Trance,
Yeah.
psytrance. That I felt this way when I went raving in India. We went to Goa and we went to the psytrance mecca, like the global church of psytrance, basically. And we went there, and
Yeah.
I was moving my body to the beat, and I felt incredible. And I felt the same way on Sunday.
Yeah.
And it is a spiritual experience. It's an experience that I feel like very little else can give you except for drugs. Little else natural. But there were things that I was thinking as well. Yes, I had a clear mind, but I was dancing on Sunday and going, I'm so motivated right now to make money. I want to go home and really just focus on my business. And then of course I felt like shit the next day, so that didn't help. But I really want to get back on track and just start making money. I'm so desperate to actually just make something of myself. I started thinking about prioritizing things, and that's, I think, was it Sunday I reached out to you about booking this recording in as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Um,
was like, this was the first time you've reached out to me
yeah,
to record. And I was like, what is happening?
yeah,
And I was so into it. And also the fact that it's happening so early in the week, I'm like,
mm,
okay, hell yeah, I'm down. Let's go.
absolutely. I was just suddenly feeling this kind of crazy motivation to just prioritize things the right way, and to stop focusing on my 9 to 5 is about it's quiet at the moment. I'm having a quiet couple of days, luckily. But from Friday, it's going to go crazy. My
Yeah.
boss has warned me I'm about to be assigned 40 new clients. And my boss has said, you're going to be a busy boy. They're giving me more clients than anyone else on the team because they trust me with that. I had a
Whoa.
meeting with her today, and she was just saying how seamlessly I've fitted into the team since joining a couple of weeks ago, and how much she loves me, how impressed she is by my work ethic. And
Yeah.
they're rewarding me by giving me a lot of clients, but it means it's going to be fucking crazy. It's going to be crazy. So
Yeah.
prioritizing, and the conversation we had the other day, is going to be more important than ever. And
Yes.
I wanted to start this week by prioritizing this. By my habit tracker last week, I think the most things I got done in one day out of 6 was 2. Today I've
Yeah.
managed to get 4 done, and
Amazing.
tomorrow probably be 6. Prioritizing, I'm back on track with that. And if I ever feel like if I'm falling off, I either need to lick an ecstasy pill, or I need to just blast some trance and just dance in my room. And
Yeah.
genuinely, we grew up with this, right? We're in the Tony Robbins environment, getting into a peak state.
Yes.
And that's it, right? If I'm feeling shitty, if I wake up in the morning feeling like, oh, I don't want to go to work, fucking stick on some crazy bleep bloopies psytrance and just go wild in my room.
Oh my God, 100%. I'm always a huge, oh my God, huge
And
advocate
that's
for that
also
as
moving
well.
your body, right?
It is. It can definitely hit two birds with one stone. You take 10 minutes, you dance out to a couple songs. It's the movement, it's the peak state. It really helps.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, in a good space for the most part. I did make a reel on this today. I think the main downsides that I'm experiencing at the moment is money. I
Mm,
am incredibly stressed about money. And it was that conversation really that led me to cry on my phone call with Savita yesterday. And I'm not crying about it every day. It was to come down, but
yeah.
I I don't feel good about it. I'm not making my commission yet. I'm working really fucking hard. And yes, they're about to reward me with all these clients, which should mean that at least from next month, I should start making really good money.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm just seeing my savings go down and down and down, and to a scary point, to be honest, like to a point where
Yeah.
I'm really starting to worry about money, when I should be in a position where they should be going up because I have very important things to save for. I'm getting pressure to an extent to make moves in my relationship, and my
Okay.
my plan has always been this year, right? By the end of this
Yeah.
year, that is my plan, is to take it to the next level, but it's money dependent. And
Yeah.
I really want to make it happen, but I'm just, yeah, incredibly stressed about money. And in the past, and this is what I made the video about today, I Usually I put a lot of thought into my scripts and stuff in my videos, but today I just spoke from the heart because I was feeling really shitty about this. And I was like, I'm vulnerable right now. 4 years ago, I would have relapsed in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Relapsed 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Um, Now, luckily, I have a lot of things in place that are stopping me from relapsing. And mentally, I'm very strong and have put the right things in place mentally. But yeah, it's tough. Like, I am vulnerable. Like, I'm not completely away from the possibility of a relapse. It's
Yeah.
definitely there lingering, and that's scary because that would cost me, I'm aware it would cost me everything. It would
Yeah.
cost me my relationship, my family, my friends, just everything that it cost me before. All of
Yeah.
that would come back,
Yeah.
and that's the main thing stopping me. But it's in times of financial stress and scarcity that those feelings come back, and that's scary.
Yeah, 100%. I think once things start to pick up with work as far as the commission goes, I feel like it's really gonna help. It's just a patience game at this point because you knew you weren't gonna start making commission until around this time anyway when when we talked about you joining this job. That was what we talked about is, oh, you might not see a commission until end of the summer, which is nerve-wracking, especially when you're like really leaning on things and especially when you're getting pressure externally about your relationship too, and that's it just adds extra pressure. You don't wanna have to rush into things without feeling in a good spot about everything because it's like the cost doesn't end with the thing. The cost doesn't end with the thing. The costs become bigger after the thing because then you pay for other things and then other things on top of it. So it doesn't really get smaller, it becomes more. So I know the commission, but it's like it seems like a patience game. So you're really only having to hold out until commission kicks in what, like another month maybe?
Well, yeah, I don't know. If they're giving me all these clients this week, which she said by the end of this week it'll be sorted, then yeah, I should start doing deals this month. Might be pushing it because we're already halfway through the month. If it's not this, yeah, if I start doing deals this month, then I'll get paid for the next month. It might be too late for that, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm also putting a lot of pressure on myself. It goes back to the whole thing of stop thinking about something that hasn't happened. Stop
Yeah.
stressing about things that haven't happened yet. In my mind, I'm stressing going, okay, I could start making commission this month, but what if it's not enough? What if I'm overestimating how much commission I'm actually going to make based on my performance the last time I was in this job?
Yeah.
This time it's going to be more difficult because it's a different style of job that I'm doing to what I was doing before. What if the earning potential is not what I think it is? And when I start making money, I actually can't save as much as I thought I would. That's going through my head a lot,
Yeah, you're
but
spiraling
I'm
and worrying
spiraling.
about things that's not happening yet. You're
Exactly.
future tripping.
100%. We've spoken
You're
about
having a
this quite
bad trip, a
recently.
bad future trip.
That's
Yeah.
it. We've spoken about this really recently, and why am I doing that? I need to, if anything, think about, yeah, I made really good money before. That's how it's going to be this time.
Yeah.
Try and think as positively as I can. And ultimately, as well, the thing I keep telling myself is my earning potential in this job is up to me. If I put in
Mhm.
the hours, if I work hard, work smart, I will make money from this. I will make
Yeah.
really good money from this. And I can also make a big name for myself in the company and move up and get pay rises. So, what am I stressing about?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I think it's just a patience game because 'cause you're putting in the work, but right now I feel like you're putting in the work and you're, like, right at the edge of it showing, right at the edge of it showing. This is like that thing. This is exactly like that metaphor you always talk about where the digger's digging and digging and digging, and he's, "Oh, I'm gonna give up," but it's right before he hits
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
gold, you know?
exactly.
That's exactly what's happening here. It's like you've been digging, 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 and honestly, yourself into a hole. You've
Hmm.
definitely been pushing it for the last couple months, and you're right on the edge. You're like right on the edge there. So it's like you have to just keep pushing a little bit further, a little harder, you
It
know?
does also play into the other metaphor that I quote more, which is stop focusing on the top of the mountain, focus on the steps that you need to take now, the next
Yeah.
step, and then the step after that, and then the step after that. Take it one step at a time. And if after 50 steps I'm not making the money I was expecting, then at that
Okay.
point I start to get realistic and think about alternatives. And in the
Yeah.
meantime, I'm working on alternative income streams anyway. There is really nothing to be stressed about. I need to take my own metaphors, my own overly retorted metaphors, and remind myself of that.
It always happens like that too.
Yeah.
Always. I'm the same way. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, we should listen to our own advice. You know?
When you say that we need to put our quotes on a bumper sticker or on a t-shirt, we literally do because we need to be reminded of them daily.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like these quotes consistently, like our metaphors are like just move and meditate and everything else will fall into place. That's it. Put the work in, put the grind in, put the hustle in, and things will work out. But like
Yeah.
when you're in the thick of it and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's me. I know we briefly touched on it, but speaking of hustle and hard work and how's that going for you? What are you up to?
I'm visiting my family. I'm road tripping around with my mom, and it's been really nice. And it's like, I don't know how the hell I did this last year where I balanced like my 9 to 5, the business, and the travel all at once. Like, I don't know how I did it because I, up until recently, up until like yesterday, I've been feeling really stretched way too thin. Like, I'm like, oh, I just don't have time, no hours in the day to get it all done. And even now, I still feel that to some degree, but I know while I'm here, I've been able to put in the hours, and my family's been pretty understanding about, no, I'm not going to watch the news with you guys. I will bring my laptop and we'll sit with you, but I'm not watching the news. Like I have too much to do to watch the game show network or whatever. I'd say like the areas where I'm feeling better about the energy and work I'm putting in there. It's not quite at the quality or quantity I want right now, but I'm also just like, I feel like at this time, I'm buying some time until I get back to LA where I can like really just focus and really just have my time, energy, and space to focus on the quality and the quantity that feels good for me and feel really proud of the amount I'm producing and the quality. But right now I'm just like, get it out there. Done is better than perfect. Get what you can done. I'd say the areas where I'm feeling the most challenge right now are physical health. We touched on it briefly where it's like I haven't moved my body or meditated. Physical health and mental health, like I haven't moved my body or meditated in a while. I was meditating a lot last week because I was recording so much and I was recording a lot of meditation. So I was meditating a ton last week, but this week I've fallen off a little bit. And movement, like I haven't really had any active, like an hour of intentional movement because I like want to go for walks while I'm here, but which is the most accessible way for me to move while I'm at my family's house, but it's been raining. So I like haven't really been able to in that way. It's like finally it looks like the sun's peeking out. So I'm hopefully gonna be able to get out there this evening just for a bit. And if not, like really prioritizing movement, whatever that is, but movement and meditation and like physical health don't feel good. And I think I'm just like making bad choices. Like my family, I'm the healthiest one in my family by a long shot, by a long, long shot. And it's really frustrating to be surrounded by it because it's like I find myself succumbing to peer pressure where it's like, "Oh yeah, let's have the ice cream. Oh yeah, it's they don't really eat the way I like to eat. It's not clean at all." Um, and then it's like that on top of the not moving, and then it's like last night we went out for dinner and I didn't order a drink, and then everyone at the table ordered a drink, and then I ordered one too, and I was like, "I didn't need that." Literally didn't need the cocktail. For what? You know what I mean? It's not like I'm trying to get drunk. It's not like anything. I'm just like, "Why did I order the cocktail? Like, why?" I didn't need the extra thing, and then I didn't sleep as well and whatever. So it's like making these poor choices that like that thing I used to say. Again, another thing that we used to have on a bumper sticker, like that we say that should be on a bumper sticker. Are my actions today going to make tomorrow's version of me proud? And my actions yesterday did not make me proud today. And it's how can I act today in a way that's going to make tomorrow's version of me proud? I can move and I can fucking meditate and I can get through my to-do list. So physical health, mental health areas have been suffering. And I will say also my family area, as much as like in some ways it's really good because I have 10 members of one side of the family in one city. So it's like I'm spending so much time, like good quality time with my family. And I'm just so aware that I don't get this time. My grandma's turning 90 next year.
Wow.
Yeah, like she's the healthiest freaking 90-year-old I've ever seen. Lady goes outside and gardens every day. I'm just so aware I don't get this kind of time. I don't get to spend a month with my mom road tripping. So it's like in that way, it's really nice to spend the quality time with people. And it's also nice that it's like out of the entire family, I am the family member that has the best relationships with every single person, but I can't say that about a lot of the other family. And without going into it too much, but I think this was very relatable, is I know family dynamics are very complicated and can be very messy and can be very, very toxic, especially when there's everyone's having issues with each other. And instead of talking to the person about what's happening, and this is also something I used to go through, right? Instead of talking to the person about what's bothering me, you're going and talking to everybody else about it. And every single fucking family member, Josh, every single one has talked to me about their issues with other family members. And I'm sitting here, I was talking about it with my therapist yesterday, and you've mastered, at least with your family, like being able to be like, hey, like this is bothering me. And I've gotten much better at having that conversation with that person and being like, hey, this thing is bothering me. This is what I'm going to do to maintain our relationship. This is what I'm going to do. And if you could, great. If not, no pressure. But like, it's sitting on my heart and it's weighing me down. And he's, maybe you should consider talking to your family and being like, hey guys, listen, like everyone is deeply unhappy with their lives and blaming the external circumstances and blaming other people in the family and coming to me and my mom and talking about it. Like, how about you guys talk to each other? I'll go first. And just stuff like that. So and I just find that these family dynamics can be so toxic and so difficult. And I just feel like if I don't say anything, this will continue on for the rest of time. I could go and say this thing to everybody and it could end up in a screaming match. I'm not sure. But like, I just, especially being here, it's like I'm so happy to have the quality family time, but the more that I'm here, the more I'm realizing like I just want to be in my own bubble. I want to be in my own world. I want to be surrounded by people who value the same things as me. Like I want
Mm.
to be around people who value health and who value having like really healthy communication and healthy relationships. And that's not what this is. And it's like as much as I love my family and as much as I love spending time with them, like when we don't align on values and priorities, I I'm looking forward to being in my own bubble and being able to create those boundaries there and be like, I'm happy to talk to you on the phone once a month. I'm happy to talk to you on the phone once a week, but I don't want to be a part of this dynamic. If I look at who I surround myself with, and if I look at them just as people and not as people that were blood related, it's not really what I want to surround myself with at all. At all.
No. Yeah, that's
So it's
totally
like,
fair. Yeah.
how do you balance that though? It's like when you're like, oh, you are who you surround yourself with and you can't choose your family and we don't align in any way. But it's like I still love you and I still want to have a relationship with you, but I don't want to absorb any of your bullshit.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing as we get older, have and that dynamic with our family, right? We grow up with them and we become them because that's who we're completely surrounded by as kids, as teenagers, as young adults. But then we leave home
Mm-hmm.
and we develop our own personality because we start surrounding ourselves with other people and in different environments, right? And so I always say this to Savita. She's moved back home after 3, 4 years away from the country, let alone family, just completely away from everyone in her old life. And she's become a completely different person. She's gone back and she's clashing and clashing and clashing with her sister and with her parents. And it I'm the same. If I was to move back in with my mum now, even just for a week, like if when I go back for Christmas, there's many blow ups, there's many explosions because we are just different people. And so those energies clash. But I think the good thing about being an adult, the good thing about the position that you're in is that it's temporary, right? You are, they're your family for life, but you don't have to surround yourself with them every single moment of that life, right? And
Yeah.
right now you are surrounded by them because that's where you are. You're in that season, it's the summer, it's you're spending a bit of time surrounded by family. And I think it's important in those situations, and I see this say this to Savita all the time. The time that we have with our family, the prolonged time that we have with our family, like what you're doing right now, like Savita for 6 months or so in India, how often are we going to get that as adults, right? We
Exactly.
are,
Yeah.
you're going to be in LA, you're going to be, wherever, all over the place, traveling. I live in now a different city to my mum. My mum doesn't live in London anymore. So that week that I get with her at Christmas, or a few days here and there where I go and spend a weekend at hers or something, yes, we clash and she drives me fucking insane sometimes, but I'm actually really grateful for that time. And I take a
Hmm.
step back and I go, I'm aware that this is temporary And in a couple of days' time or a couple of weeks' time, I get to go back to my life and surround myself in the environment that I want to be surrounded with, the environment that allows me to thrive in my own bed, with my own people, with my
Yeah.
own food. And you are going to be in LA indulging in that life, in a certain amount of time. And I
Yeah.
also think, just going back to what you were saying about being busy, and it taps into that, it's the season of life, right?
Yeah.
You are experiencing a fun summer right now. You're traveling around, you're having a good time. And as a result, things are piling up, and it sounds like it's getting a bit overwhelming, or quite
Mhm.
very overwhelming.
Yeah.
And you're feeling like you can't cope with the workload alongside having fun and traveling. And it plays into the same concept. You are putting too much on your plate, but it's a season, and you should allow yourself to have that fun for the time being. And then you're going to grind, you're going to focus, you're going to be surrounded by the people that you want to be surrounded with, who allow you to thrive in a month or two.
Yeah. I think being here has made me really very eager to go back. And at first, it was my time in my childhood home, and then my time in Paris, and then starting this road trip. The more that time's going on, the more I'm like, wow, I really, really miss LA, and I'm really looking forward to going back. And in some ways, that's a beautiful part about these travels, right? Is that I'm realizing, like, oh, wow, I really love who I am, and I really love my life in LA, and I'm like ready to commit to that life, and I'm ready to immerse myself in that life and like really dive deep. So in that way, it's feeling exciting, but it's also I'm like impatient. And it's like part of me is like, yes, be present, soak up all this time and like whatever. But it's like, how can I soak up this time while also protecting my own energy and my own peace? Because it's really easy to absorb the toxicity that is happening both physically and emotionally and mentally. It is so easy. And it's like, how can I protect my peace? And honestly, a lot of that has been working. A lot of that has been like, I'm going to drown myself in work, and I'm going to work really hard and spend the time with them in between, so that I can, at least if I'm not doing other things, at least I'm going to feel good about the what I'm producing and what I'm putting in right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you know where you are, right? And I think everything that I just said, you're aware of that. This is stuff that you preach to me all the time, right? But I think when times are when you want time to pass faster because you want to be back in the space that allows you to thrive, right?
Mhm.
It's really important to be grateful for where you are right now, right?
Yeah.
I We were just talking about me and focusing on the future and focusing on what if I don't make enough money, but actually I should be focusing on right now. I'm grateful for the position that I'm in, to have the opportunity to even make that money that I'm going to be making in the future.
I welcome more.
There you go. There you go. Exactly. Thank you for reminding me of that. I haven't done that in a long time, and it works. It fucking works.
Yeah, it does. So, it's always complicated, this kind of stuff, but that's just life, right? And you're right. I think just be present with where I am and be grateful for where I am right now, because it's like this time is fleeting,
It
and that was my
is.
intention this summer, to be as present as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it sounds like you've done a great job of it so far. But it's easy, especially with family, to let our minds wander and go, fuck, I don't want to be here. But then when you're away from them, you're like, oh, I miss them. I don't know. For me, I didn't realize this. Bella is here for a few weeks this month, and I've been really busy. I've been almost too busy to see her, and I felt really bad about it. And I didn't think about it. And I've spent the first few days, I spent a fair bit of time with her. And I was like, okay, my family is driving me insane. And so I went back to being busy and doing my own thing. But then she's going to be gone in, I think, a little over a week. In like 10 days, she's going to be gone. And I will miss her. I always miss her when she's away. She's so far away. And she's my sister. But I just take that time for granted because I'm so desperate to get back to my life and
Yeah.
my comfortable life, basically.
Yeah, I get it. It's complicated and messy, but we're getting it sorted.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to give it time, but in that time, you've got to be grateful.
100%. 100%. And with that being said, y'all, we'll catch you guys next week on Mastermind Moments. Bye.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and follow along on social media.
If you would like us to help you mastermind something in your life, please send us a message.
We'll see you next week on the Mastermind Moments podcast.